Okay, 2.7, we need to discuss something real quick. 2.7. I've got this property we need to learn about. So it says 7x plus 3x. We're not going to put anything in for x, okay? So I'm not replacing it. I'm not replacing x with anything. So basically what I do right here, when it says 7x plus 3x, is I just run through my order of operations. There's no parentheses, there's no exponents, there's no multiplication because there's no parentheses, okay? Division, nope. Addition, now, there is addition right there. Now what I do is I write x down, and I'm allowed to add the numbers that are multiplied by x. Only works with adding though. Okay, 7 plus 3 is going to be 10, or excuse me, no, it works. Okay, so 10x. Now 7 plus 3x. There's no parentheses, there's no multiplication, there's nowhere I'd put a dot. Okay, I'm not going to put a dot between the 3 and the x because I'm not going to put any number in for x. Okay, so I won't be doing that. Division, nope. Addition. Now, got a little problem here with the addition. See, on this problem, the 7 had an x, the 3 had an x, so I can add them. Here the 3 has an x, the 10 does not. Okay, so I can't add those. So really, I can't do anything with that expression. That's the answer. Okay, next it says simplify by collecting like terms in the expression. Okay, so the first problem we see is 6 plus 10x plus 3. Okay, so how this is going to work, we're going to go with our thing like simplify them. So there'd be nowhere to put a dot, okay? I'm not going to put a dot between the 10 and the x because I don't have a number to put in for x, okay? X just stays with the 10. Okay, I'm going to read it. 6 plus 10x plus 3. I never said the word minus, so we don't have to fix anything there. Okay, so no parentheses, no multiplication because there's no dots, there's no division, now adding. Okay, this is all about adding, really. Okay, so I write x down. What's the only number you have that it has x behind it? It has an x connected to it, the 10. So 10x. Then what numbers don't have x connected to it? 6 and 3. I'm going to add 6 plus 3. That's 9. Okay, and that's the answer, 10x plus 9. Okay, next problem. Negative 8 plus 2x plus 5 plus 11x. Well, there's nowhere to put a multiplication dot, and I'm going to read it, see if I say the word minus. Negative 8 plus 2x plus 5 plus 11x. Never said minus, so I go no parentheses, no multiplication dots, no division, adding. Okay, it's all about adding here today. So I write x down. And then I find the numbers that have an x connected behind them, 2x and 11x. So I add 2 plus 11 is 13. Plus, and then I add the numbers that don't have x connected. So negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. So 13x plus negative 3. Next problem. 4y plus 1 minus 3y plus 5. Okay, so there's nowhere I'd put a multiplication dot. I always want that because I'm not going to put any parentheses because I'm not putting anything in for y. I don't need the parentheses. Now, do I say the word minus? So again, before I go to my PMDA, dots, minus, we got to take care of that. There's no dots. There's a minus right there with the 3. So I make it plus, and that 3 afterwards is now a negative. Okay, plus negative 3. So parentheses, nope. Multiplication, nope. Division, nope. addition, yep. So I write y down this time, and I find the numbers that multiply by y. You got 4 and negative 3. So I'm allowed to add those. 4 plus negative 3 is 1. 1y. And then numbers not multiplied by y, 1 plus 5 is going to be 6. So 1y plus 6. Okay. Next up, we have negative 4 plus 3x plus 4 minus 5x. So dots, no, there's nowhere to put a dot, especially when we're not going to put, there's going to be no parentheses. Minus, I'm going to read it, you just tell me if there's a minus. Negative 4 plus 3x plus 4 minus 5x. So right there we have a minus, so plus, and then now the 5's negative. Okay, so there's no parentheses, there's no multiplication, dots, there's no division, addition. So the letter I'm having in this thing that I'm not going to put anything in for is x. So I find the numbers, only the numbers that have x connected. Positive 3x, negative 5x. So 3 plus negative 5 is negative 2. Because if you're on a number line, you start at positive 3 and you go backwards 5, you're at negative 2. Then I write plus down. And then I can add these two numbers, not multiplied by x, but negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Okay? You can put 0 or you can just write negative 2x. It's up to you. Okay, next problem. 5 minus 3x plus 4 minus 5x. So there'd be nowhere to put a dot. I'm not going to use parentheses, so there's going to be no dots. Okay, no multiplication dots. Any minuses? So first we got to check for dots and minuses. I know there's no dots, no place for a dot. 5 minus 3x plus 4 minus 5x. I said minus right here, so plus, and that 3 is now negative. Said minus here as well, so plus, that 5 is now negative. Okay? So no parentheses, no multiplication, no division, addition. So I've got x, and I'm allowed to add the negative 3 and the negative 5. So negative 3 plus negative 5 is negative 8. Now numbers without x, 5 and 4 need to be added. That's 9. So negative 8x plus 9. Next problem. 5 minus 3x plus 1y. Now there's two letters, but that's okay. We can deal with it. Okay, so there's no, again, we're not putting any dots on this assignment. Okay, minus 5 minus 3x plus 1y plus 6. So minus, so plus, that 3 is a negative. Okay, now there's two letters. Let's do x first. Really the only number I have with x is the negative 3, so negative 3. Then I write plus and I put my second letter y. Really the only thing I have with y is 1, so it's 1y. Now I'm done with the letters. Now what are the numbers we have not multiplied by a letter that don't have a letter? 5 and 6. Okay, 5 plus 6 needs to be added. That's 11. That's simplified. Okay, next one. 6c minus 4 plus 2c minus 7. No place for dots. Minus, I have plus negative here. And then minus, I have plus negative 7. So I know, so now it's all addition. I don't have to worry about minuses. Okay, the letter I have is c. So I find all the numbers multiplied by c. 6c, 2c. 6 plus 2 is 8. That's the only letter I have, so now I go to the constants. The constants, numbers numbers that are not multiplied by variables, by letters, those are called constants. So I add negative 4 and negative 7. Negative 11. Okay, next problem. 2n plus 1 minus 4m minus 1n. Okay. So there's no place for dots. Minuses. 2n plus 1 minus 4m minus 1m. So there's two minuses. Plus negative 4 plus negative 1. Okay. Alright, so let's choose a letter. N and M I have. Let's do N first. Okay. I have 2n. That's an M. And I have negative 1n. So I add 2 to negative 1. 2 plus negative 1. It's going to be 1n. Now I go to M. Okay. Here's M, negative 4. That's the only one I have. And then numbers not multiplied by variables, we have the 1. The constants, you have plus 1. And it doesn't matter the order you do the letters, okay? It really doesn't. You just pick one. Negative 3x plus 10 minus 4y plus 21 plus y. Okay, there's no place for dots. Now, when do we have minus? Negative 3x plus 10 minus 4y. Okay, so plus, and then the 4y is negative. Plus 21 plus y. Okay, I have two variables. I write x down first. Really, the only x I have has a negative 3, so nothing to add. Then I've got y. Well, I've got a negative 4y here, and I got y here. But what number would I put in front? If it doesn't have a number, we place a 1 in front. Okay? So I go negative 4 plus 1. Negative 3. And then numbers not multiplied by variables, the constants, we have a 10 and a 21, both positive. So it's just 10 plus 21. That's 31. Okay, next one, 8x minus 1y plus 6. No place for a dot, okay. I said we have a minus right there, so minus, and then that 1y is now negative. That's now a negative 1. Okay, so x, I've got an 8, and that's it. Y, I've got a negative 1, and that's it. Put plus sign. Constants, we have a 6, that's it. So I was unable to combine any like terms in that expression. That was pretty much what I had. I end up with what I started with. Okay, next one, negative 7 plus 3x plus 4y minus 6x plus 3. Okay, there's no place for dots, okay, because I'm not going to make any parentheses. So tell me if I say the word minus. Negative 7 plus 3x plus 4y minus 6. So there's minus. So that's now negative 6 plus 3. So now it's negative 7 plus 3x plus 4y plus negative 6x plus 3. Okay, no place for dots. We did the minus and then the parentheses. No parentheses. No multiplying, no dividing, just addition. But we can only add certain things in the expression. So let's write x down. Find the x's. You got positive 3x and negative 6x. We're going to add those. So 3 plus negative 6 would be negative 3. Now I also have a second letter with y. Here's y. That's the only y I have. It as a 4. So it stays the same. I don't add anything to it. Constants, we have negative 7 and 3. So negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. Again, when I say constants, those are numbers that are not multiplied by a letter. Okay, next one, 5 minus 10x plus 12 minus 1x plus 6y. So I'm not going to put, so 5 minus 10, so there's two minuses here and here. So plus negative 10x, and then plus negative 1x. So now I've got 5 plus negative 10x plus 12 plus negative 1x plus 6y. Okay, so no parentheses, no multiplying, no dividing, just good old-fashioned addition. But we only add certain things. So I got x, so I have this negative 10 here and this negative 1 here. So I add negative 10 plus negative 1. That's going to be negative 11. Y, that would be 6y. Okay, that's the only one I have. Now the constants, 5 and 12. 5 plus 12 is 17. Okay, last one of these, 3a minus 1b plus 6a. So we're not going to put any dots, but we do have a minus right there. I did say minus, so plus, that's going to be a negative 1b. Okay, it's all about adding, but you can only add certain things. So A, we got 3 and 6. 3 plus 6 makes 9. 9A. Then B, and the only B we have is a negative 1. Okay, next two problems are got some story problems, but they're not hard if you set them up correctly. Temperature changes from negative 5 degrees to negative 15 degrees. Find the change in temperature. So down at the bottom I'm finding temperature change. That's the answer to the problem. This is how you find a change from one number to the other. It's a minus, okay? You put a minus. Then here's what you put. You take the ending where you ended up at minus the beginning. You will need to use parentheses. So it ends at negative 15. Well, I started at negative 5, so we have negative 5 minus negative 15. Now you can punch it in a calculator, or you can go plus and then make the negative 5. Now, the opposite of negative 5 is positive 5. So I could either go with what I had, negative 15 minus negative 5, or I can go negative 15 plus 5. Either answer is the same, it's negative 10. So that's your answer. Makes sense, because if I go from negative 5 to negative 15 degrees, it goes down by 10 degrees. If you have a number line and go from negative 5 to negative 15, it would be 10 units in the negative direction. So negative 10. Temperature changes from negative 8 degrees to 34 degrees. Find the change in temperature. Pretty much same procedure. Temperature change. Okay. So we take the end minus the beginning. You kind of go backwards. So you ended up at 34. You started at negative 8. Okay. So 34 minus negative 8. So you can make that a plus, and then the opposite of negative 8 is positive 8. So it's really just 34 plus 8. Now if you have a calculator, you can go 34 minus negative 8. It'll get you the right answer. Or you can just take 34 plus 8, 42. So the temperature change is 42 degrees, because if I pull out a number line and have to go from negative 8 forward 34, I'm going to count 42 spaces, so 42 degrees. Okay, temperature changes from 64 degrees to 53 degrees. Find the change in temperature. So temperature change. So again, minus your end minus your beginning. So we ended at 53. We began at 64. Okay. Plus the opposite of 64 is negative 64. You can either punch it, if you don't like that, what I'm doing there, you can just simply go 53 minus 64. Or you can go 53 plus negative 64. It's up to you. You get the same answer. Temperature change is negative 11 degrees. Okay. last one. Temperature changes from 10 degrees to 5 degrees. Find the change in temperature. So temperature change. Okay, so it's a subtraction. You're finding the change from one value to another. It's a subtraction problem. So you take your end minus your beginning. So we ended at -5. We began at 10. Okay, so you can either go -5 minus 10 on a calculator, or subtraction addition, and the opposite of 10 is -10. So it's -5 plus -10. So -15. So the temperature changes is -15 degrees. Because on a number line, if I go from +10 and count the spaces to -5, it's -15.